In today's show, will this week's wild winter weather hit your town? What happens when a U.S. attorney is disqualified from her position? And what do teenagers really think about today's news media? Plus, U.S. Marshals are hunting a wanted football coach in Virginia. Nearly $1 billion in crypto is liquidated, and Google plans to launch data centers into space. All that and more coming up, but first, here's today's trivia question. What city is now considered the world's largest by population? Do you know? I'll have the answer for you at the end of the show. It's Tuesday, December 2nd, already, and this is the Flyover Podcast.
Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts.
Good Flyover morning to you. I am Christopher Lyon. I'm one of the editors here at the Flyover, where our crack team of writers, editors, proofreaders, and meme hunters spend all day, every day scouring the news. So you can spend just 15 minutes finding out what really matters and then get on with your day. Your regular weekday host, Ayla Brown, is off today, skydiving over the Himalayas from what I heard. She'll be back tomorrow. If you're watching on YouTube, today's podcast is audio only. So if you listen on another platform, you're not missing out. No FOMO today. It's the same for everyone. All words, no pictures, and lots of news. Let's get started with today's top stories. Winter Storm Chan and a potential bomb cyclone are expected to hit the central and eastern U.S. this week, bringing heavy snow, ice, and rain just as millions return from Thanksgiving travel. The storm has already coated parts of the Midwest and plains and could dump over a foot of snow from the Poconos to Maine by Tuesday night, while sleet and freezing rain threaten inland areas from the Appalachians to New England. Along the I-95 corridor, major cities like New York and Philadelphia will mostly see cold rain, though slick roads and flight delays remain likely. Behind the storm, an Arctic blast driven by the polar vortex is set to bring extreme cold to the U.S. just before Christmas, with highs dropping 15 to 20 degrees below normal. Next, a federal appeals court on Monday ruled that Alina Habba was improperly serving as acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey, citing a violation of the Federal Vacancies Reform Act. The appeals court agreed with a lower court that her appointment did not meet legal requirements after her initial nomination was withdrawn and she was reinstated in a different role before assuming the acting post. By upholding her disqualification, the court decision could potentially affect ongoing cases handled during her tenure. The ruling comes as one of the first appellate cases to address this type of appointment process. And a new survey found that 84% of American teenagers ages 13 to 18 describe today's news media with negative terms like biased, fake, boring, and depressing, reflecting their widespread skepticism toward journalism. More than half say they believe that journalists regularly engage in unethical behaviors, such as fabricating details or quotes, paying sources, taking images out of context, or doing favors for advertisers. Less than a third of teens believe reporters correct their errors, confirm facts before reporting, gather information from multiple sources, or cover stories in the public interest, practices that are fundamental to reputable journalism. 2/3 of those asked couldn't name any movie or TV show about reporters, with those who did most often citing the Spider-Man franchise or Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. And now for the political headlines. The White House said Monday that a Navy admiral acted, quote, within his authority and the law, unquote, when he ordered a second follow-up strike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean Sea in a September U.S. military operation that has come under bipartisan scrutiny in Congress. Tennessee voters go to the polls today in a closely watched special election that has grown unexpectedly competitive, despite taking place in a congressional district that voted overwhelmingly for President Trump in the last election. President Trump received a clean bill of health following an MRI exam last month. Presidential physician Dr. Sean Barbabella described the exam as standard and its findings as perfectly normal. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has come under fire from state workers over a massive fraud, quote-unquote, scandal involving more than $1 billion in state payments to dozens of scammers. The employees say Waltz retaliated against whistleblowers who had warned of the problem. Here are a few extra stories just for podcast listeners. U.S. Marshals are offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Travis Turner, a Virginia high school football coach who is wanted on multiple child pornography and online solicitation charges. Turner was last seen on November 20th walking into the woods near his home with a firearm. Authorities warn he may still be armed. Turner's family say they hope he is found safely and that he is able to address the allegations in court. Turner faces 10 charges so far, with more possible as the investigation continues. Police have not said whether any victims are connected to the school, leaving key details of the case unclear. Researchers say that as the colder months roll in, your body has a hidden tool that works harder when temperatures drop. They report that we all carry two main types of fat: white fat, which stores extra calories, and brown fat, which burns energy to create heat. Adults apparently don't have much brown fat, but the small amount we do have becomes more active in the cold. People with higher brown fat activity often show better blood sugar control and healthier metabolic function. It's not a shortcut for major weight loss, but mild cold exposure, like cooler rooms or brief cold showers or being outside on cold days, has been shown to help activate brown fat. Think of it as a reason not to resent the cold weather quite as much. Finally, early adopters to a new wellness trend are saying that making it part of your morning routine might make your entire day less stressful. It's called phone sober walks, which just means leaving your phone behind during a daily stroll. Walking without screens is said to help create calmer mornings, reduce the stress spike that often comes from checking notifications, and improve focus throughout the day. People who try it report feeling more present and more connected to their surroundings, which can lift your mood and ease anxiety. Experts say that unplugging during a walk can activate the body's relaxation systems and protect healthy sleep patterns. Before you try walking around without your phone, though, you should definitely finish listening to this podcast, especially this word from today's sponsor, Hydrolift Shampoo by Pure Ants. If you're someone who's tired of using shampoos full of harsh chemicals and fake promises, this one might be worth a try. What makes Hydrolift different? First, it's packed with clean, organic ingredients that are EcoCert Cosmos certified and free from parabens, silicones, and sulfates. What that means is that you're not stripping your hair or loading it up with junk, you're actually nourishing it. Hydrolift is also formulated with a professional-grade protein complex that helps strengthen each strand of hair from the inside out. So Hydrolift supports your hair's natural volume and shine. Hydrolift comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee, so there's zero risk to giving it a try. To try it for yourself, go to pureants.com. That's PUREANCE.com. And be sure to use the code FLYOVER at checkout to get a whopping 35% off. That's Hydrolift at pureants.com. In finance today, nearly $1 billion of leveraged crypto positions were liquidated during a major price drop on Monday, continuing a broad sell-off in Bitcoin and other crypto products that began 2 months ago. The United States announced a deal with Britain on Monday that eliminates tariffs on pharmaceutical products and medical technology, and includes a commitment from Britain to increase spending on medicines. Eli Lilly is lowering the cash price of a single dose of weight loss drug Zepbound on its direct-to-consumer platform, dropping it to $299 a month, down from $349. Now let's take a look at how markets closed on Monday. Everything was down a bit. NASDAQ was down 0.38%. The S&P 500 index was down 0.53%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 0.90%. And Bitcoin, as part of that sell-off, was down 5.07% to a price of $85,813.15 as of press time. The big stock mover was Belite Bio, whose stock jumped 12% on Monday after unveiling strong Phase 3 results for Tinlarebant, a potential treatment for Stargardt disease, which is a rare condition that causes progressive vision loss. Now for sports, in men's college basketball, Michigan replaced Houston at number 3 in the new AP poll for the week, following dominant wins over Auburn and Gonzaga last week. The biggest jump of the week, though, was Vanderbilt, up 7 spots to number 17, while St. John's dropped 9 spots to number 23. In college football, Kentucky fired head coach Mark Stoops after 13 years with the program. Stoops finished his tenure with an 82-80 record, making him the winningest football coach in school history. And in the WNBA, the Players Union agreed to a 40-day extension of the league's current collective bargaining agreement that will run through January 9th of next year. Both sides remain publicly committed to negotiating a new agreement to avoid a lockout. Here are your headlines from the world of science and technology. Google plans to begin testing solar-powered data centers in space by 2027. According to a statement from CEO Sundar Pichai, the company's Project Suncatcher will launch 2 pilot satellites in partnership with imaging firm Planet to harness uninterrupted solar energy in orbit. Scientists have discovered a black fungus thriving inside Chernobyl's still radioactive Unit 4 reactor nearly 40 years after the meltdown. Rich in melanin, the fungus may not just survive radiation, it could be using it for energy in a process called radiosynthesis. Finally, a new study reveals that Roman soldiers helped spread domestic cats across Europe 2,000 years ago, using them for rodent control along military routes, with cats reaching Britain by 100 AD. All this according to genome analysis of 70 ancient cats. Now a few stories we thought you'd like to hear about. The city of Portland sparked outrage during its 41st annual tree lighting ceremony by avoiding using the word Christmas entirely, referring to it only as the tree, while speakers led Free Palestine chants. Oxford University Press named RageBait its 2025 Word of the Year, defining it as online content deliberately designed to elicit anger to increase web traffic and engagement. Finally, Eric Trump announced the relaunch of Trump Vodka on Black Friday, with pre-orders now open for the U.S.-made beverage branded as the Great American Spirit. Now for the poll results. Yesterday we asked, are you still eating Thanksgiving leftovers? 54% of you said yes, while 46% said no. Today's question is a good one, and I am genuinely curious to see how this turns out. What is the favorite room in your house? Your options are kitchen, bedroom, living room, den, office, bathroom, or other. Do you have an other room? My answer to the favorite room is probably changed over the years. Right now, I would say it's the living room because it's the best place to relax in the house, but the kitchen would be a close second. That's where we keep all the food. Let us know your choice in the comments. And that brings us to the answer to our trivia question for today. What city is now considered the world's largest by population? Do you know? I would not have guessed the correct answer, which is Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. Jakarta is located on the northwest coast of the island of Java at the mouth of the Ciliwung River, facing Jakarta Bay on the Java Sea. I just rattled all of that right off the top of my head. 42 million people live in the greater Jakarta metroplex. It has just been ranked as the world's biggest city by population, according to the new UN World Urbanization Prospects 2025 report, which was issued in November. Get this, though, that's the first revision of that ranking since 2018 when Tokyo was named as the largest city, and Jakarta was ranked 33rd. So Jakarta climbed from 33rd to the world's largest city in 7 years. That's amazing. I learned so much on this show. That's it. That's the whole episode. Thanks for flying with us today. We know you have a choice in news podcasts, and we're glad you chose ours. Come back tomorrow when Ayla Brown will be flying this thing again. Enjoy your day.